My name is Mark Feist, Assistant Director of Facility Operations, and today I want to talk about one of my favorite topics, turf renovation. Today we're on Reeves Field, which is a sand-based field that supports both Bermuda and perennial ryegrass at different times of the year. But the process we're going to talk about today is applicable for a commercial soccer field and your home lawn. So the first thing you want to consider is having your soil tested. This is important because you want to determine if your pH is in the correct range. And by pH, I'm talking about whether your soil is acidic or basic. And the numbers range from 0 to 14. And typically in this area, lawns tend to be on the acidic side. So they would be at a rate of about 6.0 to 7, which is neutral. So your soil can be tested. University of Maryland has a very good soil testing lab, so that's a local lab that you could contact them and send your soil to. And they will also give you general recommendations back. So if your soil is acidic, you'll probably be told to add lime to the process. So we start the lawn renovation process by first using a core aerifier. That's extremely important in this step because it really increases your chance of being successful in the turf renovation process. So basically you would use the core aerator, and it actually does just that. It takes cores of soil about a ½ inch in diameter, and you try to penetrate the soil to up to about 3 inches if that's possible. And you should try to start your aeration when the soil is moist, so there's better penetration with the core aerator. So you should use the core aerator. You can't overdo this. You use it at least 2 or in 3 directions. So it would be across the lawn and also diagonally. And again, don't worry about, the lawn's going to look worse before it looks better, but the aeration is key to this process. So the second thing you want to do is actually put down your grass seed. Now grass seed generally comes in a mix of perennial ryegrass, bluegrass, and fescues. So you have to determine the amount of sunlight you have. If you're into a more shady area, you'll use a blend that has more fescue, creeping red fescue in the mix. But if you go into the stores or a good nursery, you'll be able to either read the bag or talk to a salesperson, and they'll be able to give you the exact type of seed that's best for your lawn. So after you put a lot of holes in the ground using the core aerator, apply the seed at the recommended rates. And again, you want to use a spreader to do this so that it's applied evenly throughout the lawn. The second step, depending on what your soil tests show, you want to add some Dolomitic lime. Now, the soil can only absorb so much lime at one time, so you never want to apply more than 50 pounds per 1,000 square feet. Now that's a lot of lime, so typically you won't be applying quite that much. Even if your lawn is extremely acidic, you'll have to do that over a number of years to try to raise that pH level. And that's important because if your pH is extremely off, then your lawn or your turf is unable to absorb the nutrients as it should. So now we have the holes in the ground, we have applied the seed. You want to put down lime if that's called for from your soil test. Go ahead and fertilize the lawn. I recommend an organic fertilizer. A product such as Milorganite is that type of organic. So you put the organic fertilizer, again according to the recommended rates within the bag. And then the last step is probably as critical as putting those holes in the ground in the beginning. And that's to use a product I recommend, Leaf Grow, which is just that, composted leaves. So you want to top dress with that, and that means basically you want to apply with a shovel, in this case, evenly throughout the lawn, just a top dressing, a little skim coat of the Leaf Grow. After all of that is done, so you have aerated the lawn, seeded, lime, fertilized, applied your top dressing, you want to take a leaf rake. This takes a little time, but again, the effort is well worth it. And go ahead and try to rake out and break up the cores of soil that are on top and the leaf grow that you've applied. The object is now to work them as much as you can back into those holes that you've created. technique I use a lot of times is actually flipping the rake upside down, the leaf rake, and just kind of dragging it along the ground tends to break up that material quite nicely. So if you're really clever, you'll plan this just before a rain, and not necessarily a thunderstorm, gully washer type rain, but if you can, watch the weather, and maybe you'll get lucky, and they're calling for rain on a Saturday night, so Saturday you could do your lawn and have it well watered in by Mother Nature. If not, if we're experiencing a drought, basically you'll have to keep your lawn watered at least 10 days to 2 weeks so that the seed germinate. Now timing is important, and we're just getting to the outside window of that time period. So anywhere from about the 3rd week in August through about October 10th is the best time to do your lawn renovation. I say this because seed will not germinate if your soil temperature is below 50 degrees. And even that's borderline for some of the variety of grasses that you're going to plant. So now's the time, get ready, and hopefully this will help you enjoy a beautiful lawn.